This is a broadcast of SmallCapVoice.com, a financial communications and investor relations firm. SmallCapVoice.com receives payment for investor relations and financial consulting services that it provides to its clients. You should assume that officers, directors, and employees of SmallCapVoice.com or financial analysts mentioned and their families hold a position and intend to trade in these securities for their own accounts. This is not an offer or recommendation to buy or sell securities. Information in this broadcast is presented solely for informative purposes and is not intended to be, nor should it be construed as, investment advice. As in all investments, an investment in the featured company carries an investment risk. Listeners should review the company thoroughly with a registered investment advisor or registered stockbroker. This broadcast does not purport to be a complete study of the featured company or other companies mentioned. Information used and statements of fact have been obtained from the featured company and other sources but not verified nor guaranteed by SmallCapVoice.com as to completeness or accuracy. Such information is subject to change without notice.
You're wired in. SmallCapVoice.com. Following is a presentation of SmallCapVoice.com, today's leader in investor relations, capital formation, and retail support. Now, with your online business briefing, SmallCapVoice.com's Stuart T. Smith.
Welcome one, welcome all to this online business briefing brought to you by SmallCapVoice.com. And as you just heard, I'm your host, Stuart Smith. And we're welcoming back to the show the chairman and CEO of PositiveID Corporation. The company's traded under the ticker symbol PSID. And we're speaking to Bill Carrigal today. Bill, how are you?
I'm doing well, Stuart.
Great. Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. Where are we reaching you today? You're in D.C. right now? Is that correct?
I'm actually in D.C., and I'll report that everybody here is glad that spring has finally arrived.
I bet they are. It's been a long, cruel winter to them out there on the East Coast. Well, listen, if you would, Bill, let's catch up on what Firefly Dx is being designed to do and the market need for this type of technology. There's been a lot of talk in the press about Firefly Dx. Of course, we've been speaking to you the last couple of years, but let's bring up some of the new listeners, some of the new shareholders for PSID. Let's get your insight on this. Go ahead, Bill.
Very good, Stuart. We have designed our Firefly Dx to be able to perform PCR, polymerase chain reaction testing, in a handheld device at a speed that is not currently achieved in the lab, and to be able to do so at a far lower price point. So to be able to take what is traditionally a lab-based test, very expensive, with between half a day to days when you factor in the transport to a remote lab, and to be able to take molecular diagnostic testing at the DNA and RNA level out into the field into a handheld device. We've done so based on a strong platform of intellectual property and know-how that we developed over many years, developing PCR devices for homeland defense and defense applications. And we've taken that know-how and we've applied it to this product, Firefly Dx, and have recently made a few announcements on some very strong progress we're making, first in completing our breadboard device, as well as completing the first articles of PCR chips, which you referred to, which is, of course, a key component, especially when coupled with the patents and the know-how we have around sample preparation, and a major advancement in being able to deliver this system.
Well, you just mentioned that, and you've announced that you completed the build-out of the PCR, polymerase chain reaction chip. Can you tell us what is the significance of the PCR chip and what it does?
Well, there are a number of important elements or pieces to the development of the system, which will include cartridges, to be single-use cartridges, which will be tested on our piece of hardware, the system, the handheld device. So when you look inside, what are the key modules of the system that we're building out? Of course, two that you would focus on, and that we focus heavily on, is the sample preparation module, preparing sample for PCR testing, and then ultimately the PCR. And when you look at the current lab-based testing, those, let's call them $50,000, $75,000 devices, that take hours to run tests and are located at remote labs. What takes so long in the delivering of results is the sample preparation and then ultimately the PCR, which is the heating and cooling of that sample once it's prepared in order to amplify the DNA or RNA so that the signal can be measured. So it's very important that when we look at what we've developed over time and in our other product and application, that we do know how to do the sample prep, and we've been using other people's and other methods of PCR in developing our own PCR chip, and to be able to test and be able to get PCR results in under 20 minutes is a large leap forward in being able to deliver sample to results in our target, which is under that 20-minute mark as we develop the system. So that in a nutshell are the key components of what we're doing currently and why we think the results that we've reported are so significant.
Interesting. Thank you for giving us your insight into that. And I also hear you and see the fact that the company has filed a couple of patents this year related to Firefly, as you mentioned. Should we consider these patent filings to be reflective of the progress that you're making in the development and testing of Firefly?
Well, Stuart, we did recently file for 2 additional patents to add to our portfolio. They were both around this PCR chip design. We believe that they are very important components of the intellectual property platform that we're building. We would expect over the course of the next couple quarters that we will file additional patents that will come out of the further development of the system. We're very proud and believe that we've put a couple of very unique and very valuable development ideas into these 2 patents, and they further strengthen what is already what we believe a very impressive platform, and we'll continue to add to those over time.
Outstanding. Well, finally, let's talk about the fact that the company has announced most recently that it detected multiple organisms with a multiplex assay designed to simultaneously test for up to 4 pathogens on the Firefly Dx PCR chip. This sounds important, but to some of us laymen like myself, maybe we can put that into terms for us so that we can understand it. And just to wrap up, what are the company's next goals related to its continued development and testing of Firefly? Go ahead.
So, Stuart, on the first question, I think the way to best understand multiplexing is it'll gives us and it'll give Firefly the ability to test for multiple pathogens in a single test. So, for example, as opposed to going into a minute clinic, giving a sample and having the clinic test for flu, yes or no, a multiplex test would allow with a single sample to be able to test for multiple strains of the flu. So not only do you test for the seasonal flu, but you also test for all the other variants of the H's and the N's that combine to give you things that you would recognize like swine flu, bird flu, and any combination of what you're looking to determine. That is very important because the ability to test for multiple pathogens in a single test increases the efficiency and efficacy of clinicians both in a rapid detection mode or either back in a clinic or out in the field. And just to wrap up with the second part of your question, the reason we are developing this device is because we see an unmet need. The global PCR market, as has been quoted by market researchers, is worldwide is in excess of $27 billion. All of that testing is currently done in the traditional lab-based testing, and we believe that there is a significant portion of that market that would be better served by a low-cost, rapid diagnostic device held in the palm of your hand that can be taken out and used for diagnostics out at the point of need as opposed to back in a lab.
Well, what a great interview with, once again, the chairman and CEO of PositiveID Corp. The company's traded under the ticker symbol PSID. We are speaking with Bill Carrigal. Bill, thank you for calling us from the road today. We appreciate your personal insight into the recent Firefly news, and we expect great things from you and your company. We look forward to speaking with you again here in the near future.
Very good, Stuart. Thank you so much.
All right, for Bill Carrigal, this is Stuart Smith saying take a closer look at PositiveID Corporation. You can do so by visiting their website, PositiveIDcorp.com. Thanks for listening.
SmallCapVoice.com, today's leader in investor relations, capital formation, and retail support, provides its clients with the highest level of service. Our audio interviews are disseminated to one of the largest opt-in audiences available today. How? We at SmallCapVoice.com believe in aligning and affiliating ourselves with other leaders within the investor relations community. By sharing resources, each affiliated firm is made that much stronger and each client is served that much better. Our focus is to identify and provide the very best financial services and solutions available to clients and their shareholders. For more information about our services, please call us at 512-267-2430 or visit us on the web at www.smallcapvoice.com.